We've had 4 different winners in the last 4 West Bank modified races. The competition is fierce as some of the most experienced drivers in the country race in close company, fighting to control more than 700 racing horses. These cars with their 5.8-litre V8 NASCAR engines can reach 300 k's an hour. It's entertainment on wheels, as you're about to see. The West Bank title is decided by the driver who scores most points regardless of class. Charl Wilken, the Toyota Sprinter, leads with Etienne Roos, the Class D lead in Toyota, and Willie Hepburn closing fast in the big V8. 20 of South Africa's fastest and most powerful saloon cars line up on the grid at Killarney last Saturday for the next race in the West Bank Championship. It's overcast and humid. And the grid shows Ben Morgenrud on pole position, 2 seconds ahead of Willie Hepburn, with Jurgen Bentham, the local man, in 3rd position. Gary Dunkley doing well in 4th spot. Charl Wilken leads Class C. Etienne Roos is the leader in D. Killarney was packed after the Western Province Motor Club embarked on a huge promotion campaign to get the fans to the circuit to see the action and their favourite drivers at this Hyundai race day. And as the Hyundai pulls away from the line, Ben Morgenrud, who was out of the last 2 races at Killarney through niggling problems, is out to prove his critics wrong that his car has been fragile. Alongside Morgenrud on the grid is Willie Hepburn. Willie, your plans to deal with Ben now in pole position?
No plans really. We're just going to hope that he makes a mistake.
You like this circuit? You've always done well down here in Cape Town.
Yes, I've always liked the Cape Town circuit. It's a driver's circuit. You've got to try hard.
Peter, 2nd and 3rd at the last race at Killarney, very good finishes, and now looking good today on the 3rd row of the grid.
Roger, I would like to be higher than the 3rd row. We've had our fair share of drama. Cape Town's like that to us. It's a gearbox circuit. We've had 2 gearboxes go. We've had the brakes go. We've lost a spoiler. I've been off the road. So I've had I'd say a bit of a rough time here. But this morning in pre-qualifying warm-up, we were actually quite quick. I'm now happy with the car. So yeah, let's see what happens. I've got Peter Lindenberg behind me, the youngster. He's behind me on the grid. I've got Gary, the old man, in front of me. And then, of course, the rest of the rabble.
Peter, looking down the grid, you're not as high up the grid as you like to be.
Roger, I think I tried too hard and I bought a piece of land somewhere down there, bottom end of the circuit. I went farming and it's just the way the cookie crumbles, but the guys are busy sorting it out and we'll be there. I'm not too fussed. I don't think it's a problem. I think that because the cars ahead of me are so closely matched that I'll be able to get onto them and hang in there and have a go towards the end.
After this parade lap to warm up their tyres, 20 of South Africa's fastest cars are going to be in action over 12 laps, 40 kilometres an hour. The view back from Willie Hepburn's camera in his boot. They're going to come to the line flat out. Ben Morgenrud in the Mazda, the Sassel Mazda, that's him on the right, is going to dictate the pace across the line. Willie Hepburn, the white cars alongside him. The hammer goes down and we've got action as they go down to the Goodyear Bridge. It's onto the brakes now for Conti Corner. Gary Dunkley and Sabre Opal is right up behind Willie Hepburn. Bentham is an inside as they go round and round. Conti Corner trying to close up. There's the Order Cup car of Peter Goff. He closes on Dennis Althoff, goes wide as we see from Peter Lindenberg's car. Great piece of control. He just misses him there as Charl Wilken and Minolta Toyota comes past. It's slipping and sliding through the Castrol corner. The Minolta Toyota's there, and there's Gestetner Opel. He's way down in the pack there amongst the season D. And look at this for a start, spinning his way back into action. Just a little nudge, and Peter Goff is back in the Order Cup car. Must be very, very sore about having been tipped there, if he indeed was tipped off the circuit in the front. It's Ben Morgenrud, lots of tyre smokers, they light up those tyres. Putting the foot down as they come out of Shell Corner on the way up to Sabre, the double right-hander. He closes up, this is his home circuit. Is Bentham. He takes the tight line round there and Willie stays in the middle of the road. He's driving a defensive line through there, no curb for him. If he's going to come past Bentham, we'll have to pass him on the left or right, and that's going to be difficult. Onto the brakes now, down to the bottom of the corner is Morgan in the front, down to center corner Hepburn, then it's Bentham, Gary Dunkley. There's a very good performance there by the winner Killarney, Larry Wolford in the Nordson Fram car, and Dennis Althoff just behind him in the Shark King Ford Mustang. Here they come, Morgenrud, Willie Hepburn with Bentham right on his tail, going very well in this race. New parts in his engine is Gary Dunkley and Wolford right inside him. And Peter Lindenberg's got trouble. He's got camshaft trouble. There's noises under that motor there. It's not running cleanly on all 8 cylinders. And Peter Lindenberg in that Gestetner Opel is retiring to the bits. Back to the race, Willie Hepburn still got Zoo Bentham in close attendance, and Larry Wolford's closing up on his old rival and friend there, Gary Dunkley, as they go down out of Castrol Corner down to Shell, bouncing their way down there. Listen to the horsepower getting put down the road. Zoo Bentham's trying to tie the line, but you can see Willie's driving very defensively. He's in the middle of the road. They're coming up to Sabat Corner now, and this is only the dice for second position as they come slipping and sliding through Sabat Corner down that long straight. Ben Morgan, who's in the front, the Cecil Mather. As soon as he brings that big V8 down through that 4-speed Jericho box, sounds glorious there. Here's Hepburn now, close attendance. Jürgen Zoo Bentham not too far behind. Gary Dunkley in that Sabat Opal. Zoo Bentham, who knows the circuit like the back of his head, has got to find a way through. Lots of tyre smoke as Larry Wolford starts to accelerate. And under threat there from Dennis Althoff in that sharking Ford Mustang. Here's Hepburn. Zoo Bentham trying another line. Can I get through that side? No, says Willie. He's down the middle of the road. Gary Dunkley. Then it's Larry Wolford. And putting in a trot there is Dennis Althoff. Zoo Bentham now just gathering his thoughts. He's a little bit further back. He's lost a car length as he comes out of Conti Corner. We're in with Larry Wolford. There's his old rival ahead of him. It's Gary Dunkley. These two cars are very fast. Wolford, who won at Carl Army, a great win for him. He's an aggressive driver and very talented. Onto the brakes for Castrol Corner. The battle for second, Willie Hepburn and Zoo Bentham. Then it's Gary Dunkley once again, Wolford and Dennis Althoff. Morgan Root starting to open up a bit of a gap, and the interest lies between these two as Zoo Bentham's got a lot closer. His team engineer Les Johnson put a lot of work into that car to make it fast, to hold on to the likes of Willie Hepburn, who knows the circuit well as well. Here's Larry Wolford right on his tail through the double right-handed saber, slipping and sliding. They're going to light up the tyres as they come out there. The powder goes down there. He's putting it down. He changes from third to fourth. That's all they've got in that Jericho box as he goes down upwards of 260 k's an hour. He hasn't got the speed to hang on to Gary Dunkley as they go to the brakes. And Dennis Althoff is past him. He left it very late. He slipped past him on the brakes. Bit of a winkle woggle as he goes into standing corner, and Althoff has moved up a place ahead of Larry Wolford. Here comes Willie Hepburn. Zoo Bentham's a lot closer this time, having another look down the straight. Then it's Gary Dunkley, and Althoff has closed on him. Larry Wolford's not too far behind him. We're halfway through this race, and the excitement is intense at the circuit. Dunkley now under pressure there from that Charking. He was the Charking Ford Mustang. He was the winner at Swartkorps not long ago, to the thrill of his family, who've put a lot into this racing. Further back, the incredible little Minolta Toyota Sprinter, where it always is right at the front of the field, being followed by Dave Repsol, always competitive in that Automark Toyota Sprinter. And the Nissan exchange car of George Bezaden, the champion, is in third position. These cars never far apart, and always putting on a great dice between the three of them. A little further back behind them, number 47's Mike Roden, Class C. And there's the leader, Automark Toyota of Etienne Roos, the Carter. Patrick Seton, the lap record holder at Killarney, third. And then we've got Brian Maunder coming through, the Cape Townian, Dillon Skeepers from Cape Town, and Minnie from the Transvaal. Heavy onto the brakes goes Skeepers. He nearly loses it there in that Opal. He's lost it. Is he going to get... No, he catches it. Just catches it there. The road is getting slippery around Conti Corner. A lot of rubber's been put down. But the battle on for the second position in this race. He's getting closer than he's ever been. Not onto the curbs at all. Willie's in the centre of the road. Listen to this big V8. Sounds glorious as he hauls it back from 280 k's an hour down to about 100 k's an hour into standing corner. Does Morgan Root. Here it is. And he's closer. He's going 2-3 car length. He's right on Willie's tail. Lots of power as they come out of that corner. There's Morgan Root in the front. Just behind is Willie Hepburn. He keeps looking in his mirror, and Zoo Bentham's right there. He wants to do well in front of his home fans. They're looking for them as they come up the road. Who's going to be next? It's Gary Dunkley. Althoff has lost a little bit of ground. Dunkley staying on his defensive line as they go under the Goodyear Bridge into Conti Corner. He's on the inside, and Althoff's fast. He's moved up to fourth position. What a drive by this young man from Johannesburg, the son of the famous Bobby Althoff, is really in business these days and putting it across the more experienced drivers. Castrol Corner is awash with oil as Morgan Root slides his way out there. Hepburn follows carefully around that corner. The circuit is certainly taking its toll. And on the inside of Larry Wolford's car, there's oil mist all over the place on the mirrors, the windscreen. The oil tank, of course, is in the boot. The seal might have gone, but he's in trouble in that motor car, making it very hard to drive. Ahead of him, smoking, is Gary Dunkley. Gary's in trouble as well as they come down to Shell Corner, and Larry passes him there, going slowly there, but he's definitely in serious trouble. The oil tank, if he stays in the boot, it might have opened a cap or something, but definitely hard to drive that motor car. Larry smoking is definitely out of this race. And as we go down to Stanley Corner, Morgan Root's into the slower traffic, into the C-Class cars. He passes George Bezaden in the Nissan. And here comes Willie Hepburn, and Zoo Bentham's right on his tail. and footing it as early as he can to come out of there. Here they come. Morgan Hood is coming up there past those C-Class cars of Dave Repsol, the Automark car. Here's Willie closing on him, and he's bringing Zubentam with him. Further back, Gary Dunkel, he's taking that stricken Opel back to the Brits. He's broken a rocker, lots of smoke coming out of the exhaust, and his race is run. As he makes his way slowly back, lots of noises from under that bonnet. Great pity there, a man who's really got the message these days and living up the front of the field. We're getting to the end of this race. Look at that picture of Morgan Root on a roll. Flames coming out of the side of the car. That glorious sound, but further back for second. Zubentam is really making a big effort now as he comes out of Conti on his way to Castrol Corner. Late on the brakes, he's going to try and go wide there and nip inside Willie, but Willie's an old hand at this. A hard man to beat. He keeps that Opel very, very wide, that EC Opel. As he accelerates away, he's not easy to pass, and Zubentam's not going to get past him in this race. Not if he can help it. Down there goes Charl Wilken. It's Zubentam closing all the time. He's right onto his tail now, accelerating as early as he can. He gets it sideways, going up to Sabet corners, that double right-hander, trying to make a move on the inside. And George Bezuidenhout in Class C, third position, there's gone off at Castrol Corner. Starts to look like a front-end loader as he makes his way back to the circuit, or a boat in a storm as he comes through there. Can hardly see it all from the bridge, back onto the circuit and into the action. That's the champion in that class in 1994. Morgan Root in the front, making it all look so easy. He's on his way to the flag, but not so easy for Willie Hepburn. Carefully around the Stanley corner. It's a wash now. It's very, very slippery with tyre rubber and oil. Can he feed the power? No, he can't. He can't get the power to the road, and he'll have to be content with third position. So Ben Morgan Root back winning as he gets the checkered flag ahead of Willie. Here he is, and Jürgen Zubentam happy to be home in third spot. Ben, another pretty easy looking win, certainly from the outside, but I still see that you're hard at work in the motor car.
Well, as you see, we're busy pumping the brakes now, bleeding the brakes, I should say. We had a problem with the front brakes. They were going away towards the end there, and the guys got right up with me. When we got into the traffic, there was also oil coming onto the main straight, so it wasn't nearly as easy as it may have looked from the outside. These cars are hard work. Any way you look at it, 700 horsepower, you've got to work.
You certainly do, and a lap record to boot. Ben Morgan Root is back winning ahead of Willie Hepburn, Jürgen Zubentam. Charl Wilken as always wins Class C in the Toyota, and a new lap record by Patrick Seddon, coming home second behind Lewis in Class D for 1400cc cars. The South African Modified Saloon car racing is supported by Westbank. The second race of the afternoon is held up by the clerk of the course, Brian Hoskins, while Willie Hepburn is fitting a gearbox to his car, lent to him by Peter Lindenberg. And Larry Wolford also used the occasion just to do the final touches on his car. There's Willie now fitting the gearbox as the other cars make it onto the starting grid and patiently wait for him to get the car ready. There's the man they all want to beat, the Sassel Mazda of Ben Morgan Root. Took 10 minutes of waiting, and there he was. Never say die. Willie Hepburn already starting to spin his car out of the pits, just getting the feel of that car as he goes around this 3-kilometer circuit. Has he got the feel of it? You bet he has, as he just powers it on out of the corner on his way to the starting grid. Once again, a parade lap behind the Sonata 16 valve. They go. The grid positions in this race, the winner of the last race takes pole position, and then the other positions are decided on lap times from the previous race. Coming out of Castrol Corner to warm those tyres up, there's Goodyears, there's Avons, and now coming into the scene in Westbank Modified Racing are the Dunlop tyres. As you can see, Avon tyres are fitted to the auto-equipped car of Peter Goch. Nice big field of these powerful cars waiting for the green. And Morgan Root leads them across the line, all that powers down the road. Peter Goch gets a very good start. A lot of tire smoke in his face as he goes to the corners behind Willie Hepburn, who left it very late in behind Zubentam, and Zubentam's ahead of him now. This is going to be a much better race as Zubentam holds on. It's a Ford 1 and 2 as he comes out of Conti Corner. There's Larry Wolford there with Dennis Olthoff just ahead of him. It's desperate stuff. And Zubentam has left the door open, and Willie Hepburn's into Castrol first. I can't believe it. And Peter Goch is doing the same thing. He's alongside him as they come out of Castrol Corner. The road's not quite so slippery as they come out of the corner. Morgan Root's on his way there. Then it's Willie Hepburn. I cannot believe it. In the third of a lap, he's got up into second spot. Zubentam opened the door, and Willie was through like a shot, thanking him for that gift. There's a very close battle developing in Class C. Those 1700cc Toyota Conquest are locked together not far behind is George Bezuidenhout. We're in with Larry Wolford now ahead of him. He's got that sharking Ford Mustang of Dennis Olthoff. Has he got the speed he didn't have the last time? He got on the brakes, you see it get away. We're up to 240, going to 260 as we go behind the pits, coming up to 270, going for the brake marks. Morgan Rood with Willie Hepburn in second position, the same order as the last race. Zu Bentham still not believing that Willie's got through. He's in third spot ahead of Peter Gok, going much better this time after that good start. We're with Larry Wolford. And Olthoff starts to get away from him. Wolford's got problems. His gearbox is gone. It won't select. And he's slowing down as the field starts to tear away from him. What rotten luck for this man who, as we say, won at Carlisle in a great performance there. Morgan Rood in the front, Willie Hepburn, Zu Bentham going very well, looking relaxed in that car. Peter Gok, twice South African champion in the 60s and back in racing and going so well in that Order Cup cadet. But Wolford, his race is run, it's limping around the circuit with terrible rattles coming from underneath that motor car. It's Willie Hepburn around. This is when he really tries. He's after Ben Morgan Rood. He's not worrying about looking in his mirror for these other guys behind him. And Peter Gok really going well. Just behind is Dennis Olthoff, and the Class C cars are getting past the car of Larry Wolford. What bad luck for him. A battle royal developing between those two C-Class cars. And there's the third one going through in that George Bazade note in that Nissan engine exchange. And he's right up under his wing is Dave Repsol. There's an aggressive driver, going to be in V8s in 1996. He's going to be a great driver. He's on stock cars too. As Wolford goes in the back of the pits, his race is run for the afternoon, but he'll certainly be back for more. And more racing. The 1400s are having a war set in the Jackson's. Delta Opel is going the inside of Roos. He's got him. He's the lap record holder. He's Patrick Sedney. He's ahead of Etienne Roos. And now we've got a great race on our hands. Shuddering his way down under the bridge onto the brakes goes the white Automark Toyota, doing everything he knows to try and get on the inside of Charl Wilken, a man who's very hard to pass. And we're back in the 1400s too. He's defending his line in second as they go down under the Goodyear bridge to Conti, onto the brakes. Seddon's got the better line. He leaves it very late to Roos. He's a South African karting champion, and Seddon's got the better line and holds onto that first position. This is going to be his second big win of the year if he can do it. The oil's down on Castrol Corner. As they come down, here come the 1400s. It's Seddon still, and Roos goes on the inside. He left the door open. Roos takes his opportunities. He keeps him out there, goes a wee bit wide. As he gets round on the oil, he doesn't care about it. That creates dust, that cement, but it doesn't allow those cars to slide. And Roos is ahead, but Seddon's fighting back. As he goes down to Shell Corner, they're neck and neck, mirror to mirror as they go down. But Roos has got the line. He's learnt his racing in karting. The whole family's involved in karting. His younger brother goes to World Championship karting as well. A real family of racers. And the C-Class has got Wilken now with great competition from Dave Repsol. Right under his wing. Those motors sound lovely. Those little twin cam 16 and 1700cc Toyota motors. These cars haven't been this close all year. We've only seen this racing once or twice this year. And Roos is starting to open the gap as he gets onto the brake for Castrol Corner. Sounds like a V8. Does Etienne's Roos cars. He goes around Castrol Corner. And there's the reason. It's Ben Morgan Rood in the lead with Willie Hepburn behind him. Those V8s are right on their tail and wanting past. Zu Bentham is third. Here comes the Order Cup car, the black one of Peter Gok. And Olthoff is giving chase. Leon Skerper's got trouble. That green Opel is in trouble. He's the local boy. He looks like he's going to retire from this race. Morgan Rood getting onto Etienne Roos' tail, but the others have got closer. Willie Hepburn's got away from Zu Bentham this time. As down to the Shell Corner, the camber's all wrong in this corner. Goes Olthoff, and there's Kevin Caulfield from the Transvaal. Another talented driver, quite aggressive in that the red Opel. Here it is, the battle hasn't finished here. Shuddering his way down into the quarter goes Dave Repsol. There's aggressive driving. He learnt it in stock car days. He's been the champion in this class for many years in Weightman Modified Saloon car racing. Morgan Rood looks good for his second win. Hepburn's in second position, a lot closer and losing ground. That little blue and yellow car has lost ground. That's Patrick Seddon to Etienne Roos. As the others come through, those big V8s come through. Here's Etienne Roos, but where's Seddon? Seddon's gone a missing as the others come charging through. Patrick Seddon's race is run. There he is in the distance, pulling to the side of the circuit. He could have a flat wheel or motor trouble. We don't know what it is, but Patrick Seddon, his race is run and he's out of it. We're into the last lap. There's just 2 corners to go. Willie Hepburn's charge is over. He's a lot closer than he was in the first race. Happy in third position is Zu Bentham. And as always, winning the Class C is Charl Wilken. Morgan Rood comes through 0.4 of a second ahead there of Willie Hepburn. Jurgen Zu Bentham third. He got 2/3 for the day and a good drive there by Peter Gok. Charl Wilken and Dave Repsol bring the Toyota Sprinters home 1 and 2 in Class C.